in with Teo. What's going on, guys? It's Teo, the barber that does haircut subscriptions, aka Mr. Shaper, Taper, Scraper, and welcome to the Tap In with Teo podcast. Today, I got a real one on the mic. My guy went from serving time to serving purpose. He did 3 years, right?
3.5.
3.5 years in prison, and during that time, he found a passion after teaching a fellow inmate how to speak Spanish fluently. Now, he's the founder of Spanishontheblock, where he teaches people on Zoom how to really speak Spanish, not just a textbook way, but how real people talk in the streets, at home, and in different cultures. The crazy part is the TikTok algorithm is what brought us together. Two entrepreneurs in two totally different industries, both hungry, both focused, both trying to change the world through what we do. We've been pushing each other to be the best versions of ourselves and to make a true impact in the world. He drives all the way from Reading to Philly just to get cut by me, and we've been building something dope ever since we linked. This episode is about redemption, passion, and turning your pain into your platform. Let's welcome the CEO of Spanishontheblock. How you feeling today, man?
Pretty good, man. I'm happy to be here today.
All right. We're gonna start with your early life and background. Where'd you grow up, and what was your life like before the military?
Before the military, I grew up in the Bronx, New York. I grew up around Castle Hill area, and my life has just been like growing up, just living that New York lifestyle, like being part of the streets a little bit, going to school, being a trouble kid at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you ask my mom, I was the one who gave her the most trouble.
Yeah. Are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest at that.
The oldest? How many siblings you got?
I got 4 siblings. I got 2 sisters from my dad's side, and then I got 2 brothers from my mom's side.
Now, what siblings did you grow up like in your household?
In my household, Justin, my brother Justin.
Your brother, okay. And what led you to join the military?
At the time, I was doing bad stuff, man. I was selling, I was fighting, I was arguing all the time. I was jumping from house to house. That wasn't a life that I wanted to live, nor continue to live.
Yeah.
You know, and I would never forget my cousin joined the military, and I was following his life, you know, through social media and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it kind of inspired me to do so. And one day I was just like, F it, like I'm joining.
Yeah, it just felt right.
It just felt right at the time.
It's just something to do with your life. You know what's funny though? I always say this about those like military commercials. They always emphasize the validation that you will get from your family. You know, like they're always like big on saying like, you'll make your family proud. For me personally, like I don't give a fuck about my family's validation. That's not what makes me proud. That's not what makes me happy. And it's not what makes me feel successful, you know, because I could be working a job that I hate and my parents are all proud of me. And like, they're like, oh, he's got this great job title. And like in the inside, it's not going to make me feel any more successful. You know, what success for me is like you wake up in the morning on a Monday morning and you're actually in a good mood. You know what I mean? And I feel like they prey on people that look for validation from their parents. You know, it's the same thing like when people like they go to college and they go and study medicine for years just so that their parents can have something to say. Like, my kid's in med school. My kid's a lawyer. You know, it sounds good, you know, and I feel like a lot of kids, like their path is led by that, you know, just looking for that validation. And they really, I see the commercials, man, while I'm cutting, I'm laughing because they're like, you'll get that validation from your parents you're looking for. And it's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? I feel like they should really push like, what will make you proud? What will make you happy? You know what I mean?
It's called good marketing, right?
Yeah.
Good marketing, good advertising and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They see the type of audience that they want and they target them, which is fine. You know, they got me.
Did you feel that way when you went into it? You were like, oh, my parents.
Yeah, my father was like over the moon, right? My mom, she took a little bit of convincing. Because what happened with my mom is like, me and my dad were close. I love him. But me and my mom were like this too, you know? And my mom is a little bit more sensitive. So when she found out that I was going to the military, she kept asking, you sure? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I started convincing her, then she started being proud of the moment. But
okay.
It took a little convincing.
Yeah, that's surprising. Usually that's something like, I mean, not too surprising from a mother, but definitely like, it just sounds like, you know, oh, he's going to do something. So, you know, I'll be happy, you know. What happened that led to your incarceration?
I was just doing, when I was in the military, I thought I was on top of the world. You know, I thought that I could do anything.
Yeah.
And that's just me just doing dumb stuff. And because of that, the military reprimanded me. And I went through like a court martial and stuff like that. And within that court martial, I got sentenced to 3.5 years. and my life was just like this. It's just I was on top of the world, bro. I had everything. I was traveling the world. I lived in Alaska. I lived in Japan. I lived in Italy. I was traveling. I was this 20-year-old something kid from the Bronx, New York, that never left the state, and I was like a kid at a candy store with the military.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't mentally prepared for that, and I just fell into entrapment like that.
What were your charges exactly?
So my charges was assault. My charges was drugs, and embezzlement. No, take that embezzlement out. Cut that part out.
that was
BH fraud.
Okay.
Yes.
So like, what was the embezzlement thing? Like just like allegations that got dropped or something?
No. I just my wrong English.
Okay.
Wrong English. English.
What was your mindset when you first got locked up?
My mindset, I don't know. I was blank. I was blank. I thought that I was a statistic. You know, a kid from the Bronx, New York, already in jail. My family, I was so afraid to tell them. Some of them didn't find out till the day I went to jail.
Yeah.
Especially my grandmother. I think that hurt me the most.
When you caught your charges, did you post bail while you were fighting your case, or were you just locked up?
No, so military jails, it's a lot different than what civilians go through. I already knew I was going to jail no matter what. Their how you say this in English? Their success rate for locking people up is about 99%, no matter what.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people get locked up, which is hearsay. Doesn't have to be no evidence. But I can't say that, you know, a lot of it wasn't true. You know, some of it wasn't true, what I got locked up for, but a lot of it wasn't.
Allegations.
And yeah, you know, and I had to deal with that. You know why? Because I for a while I blamed the military, but at the end of the day it was myself. I had to like really say, you know what? I put myself in that predicament to be blamed. Or I put myself in that predicament for somebody to say, oh, he did this.
Yeah. And I think that's what doing time would absolutely, you sit down. You know, they even when your parents put you on punishment, I want you to sit in your room and think about what you've done. Yeah. You got to sit in that cell and think about what you've done. That's literally how it is, you know.
I did, and it sucked at the time because when I got locked up, COVID had just hit.
Bad time to be locked up.
Bad time to be locked up because they kept me in the shoe. I went to Germany first to the jail there, and
you were in jail in Germany.
Well, that's because I needed to get transferred over to the States.
But you still were sitting in there. That's crazy.
I was sitting in there. Like? It wasn't as bad. The shoe is what makes it bad, which is people don't know, solitary housing unit confinement. And the bed was, this is more comfortable, this table here at the time. And time goes very slow there, especially when you first get locked up. Yeah, because you don't have a routine yet.
You don't got no weed, no alcohol, no cell phone. Yeah.
But I found happiness in reading books.
Reading books?
And if my high school teachers could see me right now, they'd be so proud.
Yeah. What kind of books were you into when you were in there?
At first, I was just reading like fantasy books, right?
Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yo, believe it or not, good books though. I started because like when you're locked up, especially in a smaller jail, they don't have too much to choose from to like read. Yeah. And then like, you know, I had my family send me like self-help books and stuff like that.
You know what's crazy about jail? I noticed they're not too big on like, you know, like keeping their property. Like I every book that I read in jail, sometimes not every book, but like sometimes if I found a good enough book, not that I have any intentions of reading it again, but I'll take it home with me. Nobody questions it. I don't know why. And I'm like, this is why y'all got no books. Y'all just letting people walk out with it, you know?
No, it's true, because you're right about that. I took some books that I had from Germany that I had in my cell when they transferred me out.
Yeah, I took Bibles and all that. Like, it's crazy.
But I stood in solitary confinement longer because you had to get, you know, it was COVID. So they didn't want people like together at the time until we got the okay for us to be together. So solitary confinement really did a number for my mental health at the time. Because I remember when they transferred me over, people would want to talk to me and I just didn't want to talk to nobody. You know?
At one point did you decide to do something meaningful with your time, like, you know, teaching someone how to speak Spanish? How did that start?
Yeah, it wasn't until when I got transferred to the States, when they put me into the jail there. I ended up being around a good group of people.
Okay.
That still to this day we talk. Yeah. And we build each other up. And
where were you locked up at the time with these people?
In Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I was there, and within the, you know, the group conversations and stuff like that, it reminded me of me being back in New York, right? Like, hey, you know, in 5 years I'm gonna do this. You know those type of conversations you have with your friends, and something just clicked to me. Like, I don't want to be a statistic no more. Yeah, I come from New York. And yeah, I've been locked up, but that's not my story. That's part of that's a chapter in my story, but that's not where it ends at. And I just wanted to be. I wanted to build something that I'll be proud of for myself first, and that my family could look at me and be like, you know what, yo, he's been through hell, but he's rising up from that. He's being resilient. So it was just, a mixture of me wanting to do that for myself and my family, the conversations that I had with them, like within jail. And then that's what like brought me to like what I want, what I'm doing right now.
Who are the main people you on the phone with in there?
Tyler Monroe, awesome man. He's awesome. Christian Cotto, Juan Rosario.
These are people like, I mean, like people that were free that you were on the phone
people,
with. Yeah.
No, people that were free. My best friend Jonathan Morales. Which is me and him has been best friends. I want to say for over 25 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do no wrong. He will always have my back.
Yeah.
Samuel Torres, my best friend, for over 16 years, he was in there. With his fiance too, like they've been there for me, no matter what. My whole family, thank God. I've been blessed and humble. And then when I say this, I don't want it to like bring other people down that didn't go through this, but I feel blessed and humble that nobody dropped me. Like every time I called, they picked up.
Yeah, that's good.
And when you're in there, at first people are on the phone all the time, but then after a while, the phone call starts getting less and less.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's why I always making my mission when the people are still in there. They call me, I pick up.
Yeah, me personally, man, that's all I got, bro. Because I hate I just don't really have much in common with people in jail, So like when I'm sitting in there, I don't want to talk to nobody. I'd rather just talk to my family, and that phone is literally all I got, bro. And so for somebody like, let's say like somebody you talking on the phone with somebody and they hang up on you or they don't answer, bro, that shit hurts for real. Like, cause they know they can't call you. So for them to hang up on you, that just shows where their heart is. You know what I mean? Like, or for somebody to not pick up on the rare occasion that you might call, that's their chance to talk to you, and that might be their only chance all day. And for them to not answer, that shit does hurt, man.
No, it does, and it hurts to witness that. Especially like if you consider somebody your boy in there, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I always make it my business. Whenever my friends call from in there, I always call and pick up, or I text them, or I make sure from time to time I put money in their books. Yeah, because I definitely know how it is.
Yeah, and then of course you got people that take advantage too. They like their heart's not even in the right place. They just trying to take advantage of somebody that knows what that's like and is trying to look out so that nobody has to feel what they felt. You know what I mean? Because that's the reason why I do it. I'm like, man, I would like, it would mean so much for me for somebody to like, put some money on my books or just show some love in some sort of way. You know what I mean? And so I do that, but you got to watch out for the people that try to take advantage, because it could even be somebody that reaches out that you were locked up with, and the whole time he was friends with you when you were locked up, just to take advantage of you when you get out, knowing that you're somebody out there. They're like, oh, I'm gonna keep tabs on this guy so I can call him and ask for favors when he's out. Like,
that is true. And
you got to watch out for people like that.
I've seen people like that too.
And just fake friends.
Yeah, and I've came across people like that. But luckily for me, I don't know if it's like my New York instinct. I could smell that a mile away, bro.
Hell yeah.
And I'll distance myself.
Yeah.
Easy. But that's like that in anything in life. You see that in any friendships and family
members.
Have
that radar, man.
Everything.
Yeah. Tell us about your boy Tyler. I know he has a big thing to do with this story.
So that my boy Tyler, like, it's crazy because I've only been locked up with him for about 3.5 years, but I felt like I've known him my whole life.
Yeah.
I will never forget. So when I was in there, what I was doing was I was doing volunteer work so I could get time taking off my sentence. Yeah. And the volunteer work that I was doing was I was teaching Spanish.
Oh, okay. That's how that started?
Yeah. Right. So that's how that started. So he came up to me personally because he wasn't going to rec at the same time block that I was hosting those classes, but we lived in the same cell block. So he came to me personally. He's like, hey, if I give you Kifi, would you be able to teach me Spanish? But there was something about that conversation that I told him. I was like, boy, you don't have to give me nothing. Like, I'll teach you. This is something like I want to do.
Yeah.
Because I started finding like a liking to it, right? Yeah. And this guy, he's a white guy that don't know Spanish, that's never really been around it and stuff like that, and his accent really wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I really took him under my wing. I made him my product. Now he's fluent in Spanish. He could read, write, speak it. He still texts me. He calls me in Spanish. And now he's doing what I was doing in there now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Now, how did you learn Spanish to the point that you can teach it? Because it's one thing to be able to speak it, read it, write it, but you really know the language. Like, like my English teacher, the way she would teach English, you teach Spanish. Like, how did you learn it to that point?
So a lot of Latinos could relate to this. When you're like second generation or third generation, your parents tend to not teach it to you in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite person in the world, and I love my parents. So let me say that first. But my favorite two people in the world are my two grandmothers, right? Mm-hmm. My grandmother from my mother's side, my grandmother from my father's side. And they don't speak a lick of English. Mm-hmm. Mind you, they've been in the States for quite some time. Yeah. But I've always made it my mission to be the one to always communicate with them. And it's crazy because like my siblings don't speak Spanish, but I do. But that's always been like my passion behind it. Mm-hmm. Then what happened was when I was in jail, when they said that we could come up with volunteer programs and stuff like that, what I did was I put my nose and eyes to the books. Okay. I was like, you know what, let me study the grammar. Let me study the why we say it like this. Yeah. But because I already knew how to speak it, reading and learning about the grammar kind of came like second nature. Mm-hmm. Like I read it once or twice and boom, it's already embedded in my head because I already speak the language. Right. So it's a little easier for me. And then after a while, teaching it for like quite some time now I could look at something and know, okay, that's wrong. Mm-hmm. So because I've been studying for over like 5 years now.
Yeah. What would you say was the hardest thing about trying to teach Spanish in that environment in jail?
Dealing with people with different personalities. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when people get frustrated, they could catch attitudes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what got them in there.
Yeah, that's what got them in there.
I don't know that.
And like, don't get it twisted. Like I've gotten into a couple of arguments with people in there, but I knew I had to put the mindset as they're not mad at me, they're frustrated at themselves, so they're projecting it at me. So if I come to them with aggression, then we're just gonna be fighting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I had to be the bigger person. I would tell them, hey, listen, like I know you're getting frustrated. Let's take a pause. Take a break, 24 hours, come back, and we're going to keep studying again. Because aggression plus aggression don't lead to a solution.
Now, when you were in there teaching Spanish, did you, obviously at some point you did think, you're like, yo, when I get out, I'm going to do this. Yeah. Now, did you have any doubts whether people would like take you serious getting out? Because, that's a big thing. Like, you had to believe in yourself, you know what I mean? But did you have any doubts?
Yes and no. Mm-hmm. The only doubt that I knew that I could do it off rip.
Because you were already doing it.
Yeah, I was already doing it. The only doubt that I had was how society was going to see me.
Yeah, right.
Coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they going to accept me? Are they
going to take you serious?
Are they going to take me serious? But then I had to remember that they're not going to take you serious if you don't take yourself serious. Mm-hmm. And confidence is contagious. Yeah. So is being charismatic. And I feel like I had those qualities. Mm-hmm. Well, I know I had those qualities. So when I came out, I wanted people to focus on the product and the brand, not so much on like too deep into my background so they don't judge me first. Yeah. And then once they get to know me, obviously, like I'll say it and stuff like that. And then we could build like a relationship right there.
Now you were locked up. You said COVID was just happening. So you got locked up 2020. Mm-hmm. Now, did you know while you were in there that the route you were going to take was going to be through Zoom, or did you have a different idea?
So I knew that I wanted to be through Zoom because I knew that if I did in-person classes, I would be limited to my zip code.
Absolutely, yeah.
And for this brand that I built,
I don't even think I knew about Zoom before COVID. So like you found out about Zoom in jail? Yeah.
Well, no, I found out about Zoom through because when I was in the military, we used to do like some Zoom classes. Like when we want to like learn new things and stuff like that.
Oh, so you were messing with Zoom before COVID?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you like when you were in jail, you were like, all right, when I get out, I'm gonna do this through Zoom, and I'm gonna advertise my business, and I'm gonna market everybody all around.
Exactly.
Everywhere. Yeah, that's cool. It's like a pizza place that's only limited to like 400,000 people to deliver to.
Exactly.
And, you know what I mean? Yeah, it is limited, and that's why I say like these days, like you want a store, like honestly, the storefront is literally nothing but storage, and the real game is online sales. Everybody wants to do online sales. If you're selling a product, man, why wouldn't you want to do it online? Because it doesn't limit you your zip code. You can sell anywhere. And that's one cool thing. I can't do that with haircuts. I can't cut somebody's hair through Zoom. You know what I mean? Like I could probably teach through Zoom. Teach people how to cut hair through Zoom, but even that's challenging.
But that's something that I wanted for myself. Like I didn't want to just be limited to a zip code. And then I told myself, like, why just stop at teaching? I could do more things with that, with like my brand. Yeah. So that's why like I created my textbook. Actually, I brought my manuscript here that I wrote.
Oh yeah, okay, nice.
Yeah. I brought my manuscript here that I wrote in jail. And that was like my first draft ever for my textbook.
Yeah. Now you didn't were you on parole when you got out of jail or no?
Yeah.
You were how long?
I was on parole for 10 months.
10 months?
10 months.
No halfway house?
No halfway house.
Now, what was that transition like going back into society?
It was bad for me. You can ask my brother. I will never forget. We went to the pool for the first time. So I literally got out and then I went to the pool.
Yeah.
Like literally, like a week later, and I will never forget because the pool.
My biggest thing when I got, for some reason, I don't even like the beach, but I just want to go to the beach. Pool. I just need nature. You know what I mean? I don't want to walk in the sand and run in the ocean. That's always my biggest thing. I don't know why. Like,
nah, I'm afraid of the beach. I'll tell you in a second why. But when I was in the pool, I will never forget. Like we were in the pool, chilling, they barbecuing, and all of a sudden, like I look up, and the fence around it just reminded me of the fence I used to circle.
Yeah.
Like in the rec yard.
PTSD.
Yeah, and it, like I felt myself closing in a little bit, and I was like, "I gotta go, guys." Like, like my whole mood changed, and it just out of nowhere. And you know, for a while, like my family in the beginning didn't understand like why I was acting like that and stuff like that because they don't know any better. They thought that I was gonna be the same person.
Exactly.
From before.
You're definitely not, man.
And you're not. You know, you change from there. Yeah. Now you change. I guess like you evolve sometimes.
Yeah, like I feel like when you go in there, you got to program yourself to normalize what's going on in there. And then when you leave, you got to reprogram yourself. Like it takes a toll on your mental, definitely.
It does.
What made you decide to turn like the Spanish teaching into a business? You know,
once I saw Tyler Monroe speaking Spanish fluently,
you were like, I got something.
I got something there. Because anybody can have an idea, but it's until you see results that you're like, okay.
Yeah.
And then honestly, that gave me confidence. And I was like, okay, I could teach somebody who was never around the culture, who had to flip his accent, because now he's sounding Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. How did you come up with that name, Spanish on the Block?
So I wanted something that was true to me being from the Bronx, right? And I come from a block. I used to hang out on a block, you know? And I wanted a name that is memorable when anybody sees me. I think I told you the other day that sometimes where I'm on TikTok live and like I show love to somebody, they be like, "Oh, I remember your name, Spanish on the Block."
Yeah.
I wanted something that sticks to people,
definitely.
But that's still true to who I am or where I come from.
Yeah.
You know, I always say, never forget where you come from, but know where you're heading. But I always wanted that. I don't know. I guess I just wanted the name that could stick and that just represents me as a person.
Tell me a little bit about the philosophy behind your way of teaching. How you want to teach people the natural way of speaking Spanish.
Yeah. So like every textbook that I've studied, they show me like the Spaniard way.
Spain.
Yeah, which is okay though too, because I visited Spain. I have a couple of friends that are from Spain that speak that way. But we live in a place where you're surrounded by Latin American people. Where people speak in different dialects. People speak from like you're from the block almost. And every client that I have or every student that I have is always personalized, and I always ask them too. I think I asked you too when I started teaching you, hey, do you want more like the Puerto Rican dialect or do you want more standard? Because again, I don't want to limit myself, but I also want you to feel comfortable to who you surround yourself with. So you're able to talk Spanish with them. Because how are you going to learn the Spaniard way where you're talking to a bunch of like Dominicans, Mexicans, and Puerto Ricans? And yeah, you guys can understand each other, but you kind of want to speak their dialect. So
he ain't from here.
Yeah, exactly. But I love to cater to people's needs. But also, I let them know, like, hey, listen, like, I try to teach you from Spanish that is from the block, basically.
Yeah. So, when you got out of jail, how'd you get like your first official student?
That what?
How'd you get like your first official student?
My first official student, yeah. So, honestly, I went on TikTok Live. I just started like promoting myself like that.
And TikTok was like blowing up while you were locked up.
Yeah. TikTok was blowing up when I got locked up. And believe it or not, like people love learning a second language.
Yeah.
And
I think people are like all about learning in general. Like, I've even learned that people are quick to pay for a course to learn how something's done before they ever apply it.
Yeah.
They say we don't have an education issue, we have an application issue. And people don't know how to apply what they learn.
That's
you know what I mean? People don't have any problem with paying to learn or taking the time to learn something, but they won't apply it because I think they just have like this big thing in their head, like, oh, I gotta know it from bottom to top.
Yeah.
And then we'll start it. But you're not really going to learn until you get out in the field. You know, you can't learn how to play football in a classroom, you know?
And then learning with a lot of different people. Because I told you too, I have a student in Ireland, and I got 2 students from the UK. So I'm not only limited to continental students. I'm expanding. But I always tell people in the beginning, it's not a race. Everybody's study habits are different. Everybody's memory is different. You know, there's some students that I have that I'll teach them once and I don't have to repeat it.
Yeah.
But there's some students that I have that I might have to spend a little bit more time catering to it. And that's okay. It's not a race. Believe it or not, we have a lot of time.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I believe that, man. It's all about time management, you know?
Time management.
That's why I've been real big on like, everybody's got to start somewhere. They start with like, you know, trading time for money, and eventually, you know, you trade your money for money. But before all that, it's no problem to not trade your time for money, but invest your time into money.
Yeah.
Like, you get the difference.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if you put in a little bit of time, it'll become passive income, but it didn't cost much. It just costed your time, you know?
True.
And with the right time management, people have time to invest. You know, everybody's always with that, oh, I'm busy. But, you know, I'm sure if you sit there and put on a schedule, like it's appointments, everything you do, whether it's watching TV, just hanging out at the crib or sleeping, you know, people will write down their sleep. If you look at that, you're going to be like, okay, I factor in like 24 hours out of the week where I'm just watching TV. That's a whole day out of the week. You get to watch TV. Give yourself that. And then look at like, you know, everything that you have to do, like work and sleep. You'll see you got all this time that you can't account for. You know, because people are just sitting on their phone and scrolling for hours, man.
If you go on your phone will literally tell you how much you spend in this app per day.
People don't want to see that. People don't even want to look at that, man. Yeah.
And I always tell my students, 20 minutes a day studying a subject will get you so far. Yeah. And 20 minutes a day it's attainable. It's not far-fetched. You know, I'm not asking for hours.
Yeah.
But 20 minutes a day study on your own will get you far.
Yeah. Some people might be interested in like, you know, getting into the teaching or coaching game. So like, what are some platforms and tools that you use to run your business? So
I definitely use CapCut, definitely for my videos and stuff like that. Okay. You know, I started to make content thanks to you though. So I definitely do appreciate that.
Word.
You helping me out and stuff like that. Of course, Zoom, putting yourself out there. So like on social media. So like when I say like go on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, even if you get like 1 or 2 people in there, that's all you need sometimes.
Yeah. And
they can start spreading the word.
Yeah. They can start spreading the word. Live much more. Like it's definitely some good advertisement. Sometimes like people, their initial like discovery of you was just on live. They hit that follow button, and maybe a few weeks later they, you know, make an appointment.
Let me say that I'm a brand anywhere I go. Not just the other day, but about 2 months ago, I went to the bar, chilling there. I met some guy there. We were just exchanging some words. He asked what I was doing. Now he's my student.
Yeah.
I'm a brand anywhere
simple.
I go.
Yeah, it's that simple.
You know, it's just that simple.
And you know, a lot of people don't know this. Keep those receipts for that bar and call it advertisement. Totally legal.
Look at that.
Yeah. Like, I learned that from my accountant.
Know that.
Yeah, my accountant was saying like, I went to my son's like baseball tournament and I told everybody, all right, we're going to go out to eat on me. And he saved that bill and called that advertisement because all he had to do was hand out his card that day. You know, I'm an accountant. I'm a tax accountant, you know, and now it's advertisement. And that bill is tax deductible. You know, so it's little tricks like that, you know, but it makes it worth it, you know, because, you know, some people will go out for the sole purpose of networking, you know, so you should be able to.
I always mention what I do when I go out and stuff like that because I'm a walking brand right now. And that's something that I want to like start doing. You
can wear a shirt. Want to learn Spanish? You know, QR code in the back. You know, I learned the QR code because I was making shirts at the flea market for a little bit, like on site, just heat like press right at the flea market. Yeah, and people, what was a common thing for people with their businesses, like car detailing or roofing and stuff like that. They'll say, "Oh, I want the QR code in the back." So like, if I'm in line at the grocery store, some nosy ass person, you know, like, and without you even knowing. And they'll be in the store with you saying like, yo, I hear you detail cars. Like, you know, meanwhile, y'all in Walmart together, you know, because people weird like that, bro. Like, dudes are even like that with girls, bro. They be in the club, see the girl all night, and then DM her like, yo, I saw you in the club. Like, why didn't you talk to me in person, dickhead? But, what advice would you give someone who wants to turn their skill into a business like you did?
There's money in your passion, no matter what. And the reason why I say that is because it's your passion, you're going to take it serious. You're going to put out 100%. You're going to put all your percent into it.
Yeah.
And don't give up. It's going to start slow. Started slow for me.
Yeah.
you know. And like I said earlier, it just takes.
And the passion is what gets you through the slow times. When I was sitting in the barbershop doing nothing as a young boy, I was cool with it because I was just on YouTube and Instagram. Like, I feel like when I got into the barbershops around like 2013, 2014, like it was like real, like the whole barbershop movement on like to be a barber on social media was like a new thing. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't that big before. You had like your little tutorials on YouTube before that. But around the time that I got in the barbershop, that's when it was like people were showing like, oh, I did this to my clippers and they cut better. Like, you know, and I was like so fascinated with watching the videos and seeing people like, you know, the new tools that are coming out. That would get me excited to like buy new clippers, and I was ready for the next cut, like ready for somebody to come in and be like building the excitement, you know, but the passion got me through it.
That is true. That's exactly what I do too. I still do that to this day, even though I got clients now. Like,
me
to this day, I still see other people that do what I'm doing. I pick up skills, or maybe I'll be like, maybe I might not do that, this, that, and the third. I even told you I attended 2 classes prior to getting my LLC or my certificates. I attended 2 classes just so that I could see, number one, what my competition is. Number two, what are they doing? What makes them successful? And I just took notes.
Yeah. I know you said you advertise when you go out to the bar. You advertise on TikTok. What are some other ways that you advertise your business to get new clients?
Word of mouth, anywhere I go. I am going to get a sticker for my car. I haven't got that yet. I think I mentioned to you last week, I kind of want to do like merch for myself. So like when I'm in the class, I don't look like this. I have like a sweater that has my name on it. Anything. So I kind of want to be a walking brand.
Bro, there's this barber. I can't stand it low key, but he of course, like I learned a lot from him from like doing content, but he like he'll stack up the content when he has free time. Monday's his day off. He'll just stack up, you know, a bunch of content for that day. But like he'll do it like, you know, you'll notice like the same clothes he has, but sometimes it'll be a different day but same clothes. He has the same hat and this barber jacket. And like the barber jacket is like, okay, this is a barber, you know, like this is a barber speaking. Me, like I always have the green screen background where it shows like a barber chair and stuff like that, instead of having to wear like a corny barber jacket or something like that. I don't even like wearing barber jackets at work. For real, like there's just something about it, like I just rather wear a t-shirt, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Be comfortable.
Yeah, and it's kind of cheesy, like, you know, like that same barber jacket he wears, that same hat he wears. It's like, I don't know, it's just I don't know, I guess because like fashion is like a big thing for me. Like, even though I don't really dress up crazy on social media, but like I feel like it's part of the personality, you know, instead of wearing the same uniform.
But what you're doing right there makes you stand out from the normal barber, right?
Yeah.
So when people walk in, they usually see like the uniforms and stuff like that, but you're not in uniform, but you're cutting your hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that probably
I have my own uniform. Like in the winter, man, I wear the same, like I have like a bunch of the same hoodie and the same pants because it's an outfit I'm comfortable in. And I don't like to overthink what I'm wearing. You know, I only really get dressed up when it's time to get dressed up, you know, because getting dressed up for work, like especially shoes, man, like I'll just wear like some Crocs or some slides all the time. Because, like, I wear some nice shoes and you wear them to work after a while, like the hair and all that. Like, I really don't want to do all that. Like, because most of my shoes got hair on them, you know, because I wear them to work, you know. But
makes sense.
Yeah, I just like how Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, a lot of people don't know, he always wore, if you picture him right now, he's got his glasses, he's got a black turtleneck, and he's got blue jeans every time. And he actually has a bunch of those turtlenecks. It's like $1,000 turtleneck that like, it's like custom fitted for him or something, you know. And he would keep a bunch of those turtlenecks and not have to think about picking out clothes. Because if you do the math on it, I don't got my calculator, but like, let's say it takes you 15 minutes to pick out an outfit in the morning. Times that by 7. Times that by 4. Times that by 12. You're taking days out of the year to just pick out outfits. So imagine just the like mental energy that you can put into that time. That has nothing to do with like picking out clothes, you know. And that saves me time. I get up in the morning, take my shower. I already know what I'm wearing. The only thing I got to really think of is which color underwear am I going to wear today? You know, like which color Ethicas? You know, pick that out. I got the same socks. I wear the same white socks from the same dollar store. Like, I like my socks fresh. So I'll literally just buy the cheapest socks, wear them a couple times, throw them out. Yeah. Instead of buying like a pack of Nike socks, I'm like, nah, I paid some good money for this. I want to get some wears out of it.
That's me right now, bro.
Yeah, and I'm like, and then when they start getting dingy, I don't even want to wear them no more. I like fresh socks. Like these socks, bro, I probably wore them like 3 times before. This is my 4th time wearing these socks, you know? And that's the only thing, like, But it's also something I don't got to think about. Like, you know, I know where I'm gonna get my socks. I just grab them and go. You know. But yeah, I'm all for like saving time. Like that micro time really adds up. You know, I even think about that with sleep.
It does.
Back when we were kids, in the summer, I would literally be waking up my friends, knocking on the door at like 7, 8 a.m. in the summer, and be like, "Come on, bro! Like, get your bike. Let's go outside. What you doing? You know?" Because people wake up at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the summer, and then August comes around. They're like, "Oh, where'd the summer go? Summer flew by. You were sleeping the whole time." You know what I mean?
But you know, this generation is different though.
Yeah, definitely.
But my god kids be in the weekend. They be waking up mad late.
Yeah,
I'm like, how?
Yeah, I'm not with that, bro. Like you wasting, like, you know, the time. The day's gonna feel short, and the summer's gonna feel short. So I've always been with like, yo, we gotta utilize our time. I got something for you. I don't know if I ever told you about the like waking up to $24,000 every day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got something for you. This is gonna be good. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you get $24,000 every day you wake up. Now you can spend the whole $24,000, and everything you spend the $24,000 on, you can keep. But if you wake up, if you go to sleep with any of that money, is gone. You have to spend it. You know. Now, when you wake up in the morning, you get another $24,000. You know. So at the same time, it really doesn't matter if you spend it, because you're gonna get another $24,000 tomorrow. You know.
Makes sense.
But would you even bother spending the $24,000 if you know you're getting another $24,000 in the morning? Because remember, like, let's say you spent $24,000 on, you know, new car, new furniture, whatever, and you get to keep all that, and then you wake up in the morning and get another $24,000. Now, will there be days where you don't even bother spending that $24,000?
No, if it's in a reason, every day I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna get up and do something.
You're gonna spend that money, every time. You're not gonna let $1 go to waste. Even though you get another $24,000 in the morning?
No, because I'm gonna be lazy at home. I might as well just go out, do something with it.
Now, you know,
because you said you can keep it, right? You can keep it, right?
You can keep what you spend it on.
What you spend it on. So like,
but you can't.
Somebody like me, right? So like, I'll hook up my family. I do this for them. I do that for them. I'll do this. I do that. I'll hook up my house because you said I could keep it, right?
You can keep whatever you spend it on, And then when you wake up, another $24,000. So let's say you don't spend any money that day, you lose that $24,000. You know?
Yeah.
So and the reason why I use 24 is because we get 24 hours every day.
So you're spending like $1,000 an hour.
But not.
Well, you know.
Well, yeah, $1,000 an hour. But the point is, instead of getting $24,000 every time we wake up, we get 24 hours every day we wake up. And you can use those 24 hours, but you can't keep them the next day.
True, yeah.
You know? So, like, let's say you use the 24 hours to build a business or to get new clients. You can keep that business. You can keep those clients.
Makes sense.
You know? Everything you spent your 24 hours. So anybody whose mindset says, if I go a day without spending the whole 24,000, it's no big deal because I'm going to get another 24,000. They're treating their hours and their time the same way. They're like, oh, it's all right if we don't do something today. There's always tomorrow.
Yeah.
When, like, bro, you could have used these 24 hours and used the 24 hours tomorrow, you know?
That makes sense.
That's people who don't utilize your time. So you answered the question right. You're supposed to spend it.
Yeah. Like,
same way we're supposed to use every 24 hours we get every day, we're supposed to spend that money, you know? Now, how do you stay grounded and positive now?
That's a good question because
obviously you're not breaking the law no more. You got a different mindset now, you know. So how do you maintain that?
I remember what was taken from me, and let me tell you something. Like being in there, the worst thing they took from me was time.
Time.
When I came out, you know, I told you my grandmothers I love them and my parents too. But when I came out, everybody looked older to me. You know, like time. Yeah, we have a lot of it, but after a while, you know what I'm saying? Time runs out. And when I came out, you know, my godkids, they were kids and now they're teenagers.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody was just, I don't know, I feel like I missed so much. And I consider myself a family guy.
Yeah.
So because of that, like I missed so much. That was the worst thing they took from me. Everything else was replaceable.
And you did, like, most of your bid, you did it in Kansas?
Yeah.
And that shit could suck, man, because, like, did you get any visits?
Yeah.
You did? Like, people drove out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a blessing, bro.
That's why I told you, like, I feel humbled and blessed.
Yeah.
That people had did that for me.
I was staying right in Philly, nobody visited me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad, bro.
Yeah. But I feel like they do that Kansas shit and they take you away from your home because part of the time and part of your punishment, homesick. When you feel that homesick shit, bro, that's the worst punishment they can give you, bro. It's crazy, but that's good that people were willing to go out and visit you.
It's true. That's why I don't take nothing for granted. I don't miss no events. A baby shower, I'm there. I don't anything, I'm there. And I don't miss no events no more. I don't care where I got to drive to. Like remember I told you I went to Boston that one time. Like I don't care what I got to do. I'm gonna make it.
Drive that Dodge Dart over there.
Yeah, that Dodge Dart. Got character, bro.
Yeah. That's a cool little car though. I like that car, man. I've been seeing them around more ever since I saw yours, and you know how like that is like that. Like,
it's like that, yeah.
Like let's say you're all into Mustangs and you're shopping around for a Mustang. Now you keep seeing them
Mustangs
everywhere.
all around.
Yeah, it's crazy. What role does discipline play in your success? Because to me, discipline is a big thing, man.
Yeah, and it still to this day sometimes I fall off track. Like let's say if I
smack yourself,
I gotta smack myself up. Like let's say if I go out more than I should have that week, and I feel lazy because I'm hungover or this, that, and third, then I find myself getting lazy, and I'm like, no, I gotta stop that because at the end of the day, like students depend on me, right? And do you think I want to be in that video call half in it? I don't, because then like it ruins your brand, it ruins how people view you, and one thing I don't want is bad reviews. So I always put like my 200% into anything that I'm doing, like with my brand. But yeah, that's I just always got to remember, like, hey, listen, like, you don't want to go back there again.
Yeah, my biggest thing for 2025, it's May, and I'm still talking about New Year's resolution. But because I really stick to it. When I want to do something for the year and make a change for the year, I'm gonna do that. And my biggest thing was having the discipline to get up and go, regardless of how motivated I feel. Fuck motivation. Like, you could be waiting all year for motivation. 2026 comes and you're like, now I feel motivated. And that lasts for what, like 3 weeks? And now February comes and it's over, So
that's when fake it till you make it kicks in. You don't feel motivated, but you know what? Fake it.
Yeah, fake it. Yeah. Just jump into it. I don't let life get in the way no more. You know what I mean? Like I could be, have all this stuff going on. My car could break down. I'm going to take an Uber or walk to get to where I need to go and do that podcast or whatever, just shake it off and get to it, because that's a big excuse. And that's an easy thing to do. Like you could just tell yourself, oh, you're stressed out. Just chill out. You're okay. It's okay to not do work because you got this and that going on. We're not justifying that no more. I'm trying to push through that, not wait to feel motivated and just have the discipline to do it anyway.
It should also like with that, so like piggyback what I said too. It's so when people starting a business like this or like people want to discipline themselves, it's okay to fall sometimes, right? Because I feel like that's part of the process. But it's how you pick yourself up that's even more motivating, not only for you, but when somebody sees it in you, right? And what I mean by that is like, who knows, I could be that motivation that motivates that person to do what they got to do in life. Because people like us, I feel like we're like relatable. Not everybody's perfect. Nothing was handed to us. We had to like really like work for it.
What do you say to people who feel stuck or ashamed of their past?
That's a tough one because I was always there at one point. You just gotta just don't care what people say, and just do it for yourself first.
To not care what people
and it's easier said than done. Trust me. Even sometimes to this day, I feel like, oh damn, I gotta explain myself. But then I have to remember, like, yo, like, I pay my own bills. I own my own house. I own my own car. Like nobody could make me feel any lower than what I felt when I was in there.
Yeah. That's a fact, man. That's why, like, that shit would definitely strengthen you, man.
It does. I thought that I was a tough cookie, but now I can't break, bro.
To get through that, bro, like, you really have to have a lot of mental strength. I mean, but at the same time, you don't have a choice. It's not like you could say, I give up, let me go home. Like, nah, you gotta get through that shit.
You gotta get through it.
Like,
and one thing I learned too, everything is temporary.
Everything is temporary. I say that too, man.
You can hold on to a couple of things, but things is temporary. And when I was in there, I used to be like, you know what? I'm not here forever. There's gonna be a day where I'm gonna get out.
They didn't give you life.
And that's what really got me through too.
Everything's temporary. Like I say that too when I'm really going through something. Like I tell myself, like, this is gonna be a distant memory that you're gonna tell this story and tell your experience, and it's gonna help somebody one day. Like I felt like that, especially like just trying to get off papers. You know what I mean? Like I was on house arrest and trying to get off of that, and I just kept on getting myself into more trouble while I was on house arrest, and like it just felt like it was never gonna end. But I told myself like one day you're gonna look back and be like, yeah, I remember those days. They all over now.
Yeah.
You know, like, but it strengthens you as a person. It does. Definitely. If you could talk to your younger self before the prison time, what would you say?
Don't be so arrogant. Don't be so full of yourself. Be more empathetic. You know, and I feel like those were the qualities that I had that landed me where I was at. And if I knew then what I know now, my life would have been so different. But at the same time, I'm glad that this happened to me because, like, I wasn't thinking about owning a business. You know, I was thinking about when's the next club party, or when's, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mindset has changed drastically. Like, I don't recognize the person who I used to be anymore.
Do you feel like that person was someone just going around looking for like validation and like you know like
yeah like you know like, and now I love who I am now. I know who I am now.
Who would you say you are?
I'm somebody who is family first. I'm somebody who wants to build an empire. I don't want to just build a business. I want to build something that it's generational wealth. I want to build something that I'm able to pass on.
Yeah. How do you want to be remembered when you're gone?
I want to be remembered as the guy that messed up in life, but got up 10 times better. You know, and that your charges or what you go through in life doesn't define your path. It's part of your walk, but it doesn't define who you are as a person.
Thanks.
So,
now what's your big mission right now for Spanish on the Block?
So right now for Spanish on the Block, I'm publishing my textbook October 23rd. That was the day that I came out of jail, and I think that I want to mask that day with something really, really positive. Right now, I'm also in the works of creating a workbook to coexist with the textbook, and from there, I'm going to build an app. An app that kind of has everything all together.
Yeah, that'd be dope, man. To have an app that even might even save you a lot of work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like just have people refer to the app and they can learn through there. You know?
Yeah, and eventually, probably like, you know, a couple of years down the line, I want my brand to be a gateway for other languages as well. So I want to hire an Italian tutor, a French tutor, any kind of language.
French on the block.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
That'd be dope, man.
You know, and I want to hire these people. I'm actually talking to a buddy of mine that I'm really good friends with in Europe that he wants to do that.
Yeah.
And he wants to move to America, and that's something that's an avenue that he could take.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't stop with Spanish. You know, language. I feel like everybody should at least be bilingual. It doesn't have to be Spanish.
Yeah.
It could be anything, but I feel like that it helps us out as a culture to, number one, connect with each other, connect with other people, and it's good for jobs, and it's just good all around to be bilingual.
Yeah, definitely. Now, a lot of your businesses and stuff seem to be like language based. Are there any other projects that you're working on that are kind of like outside of that niche?
So, yes and no. I definitely wanted to. I think I told you. Well, before I say this, one of my biggest inspirations of opening a business was my cousin Jaylene, right? My cousin Jaylene, she owns her own candle business, which is why I think I told you before, Coco Vela. And me and her kind of want to do like a collab because I definitely want to give back to the incarcerated, and I definitely want to do a cent, and all the proceeds will go to the incarcerated. So not only am I doing like the language stuff, but I kind of want to like venture off into doing like community work and stuff like that, just giving back to like where I came from, essentially.
All right. So before we end this, tell the camera all the ways to get a hold of you and to you know reach out to you, make an appointment with you, all that stuff.
Again, my name is Spanish, and if you ever want to learn Spanish, go to SpanishOnTheBlock.com. Or you could catch me on my TikTok, Spanish on the Block, or on my Instagram, Spanish on the Block as well.
All right. Appreciate you being on the show, man.
Appreciate that.
Hopefully people get something out of this, you know, whether it's like, you know, pushing forward past, you know, being incarcerated and starting a new life. I really think your story can definitely impact lives, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
You definitely have a positive message.
I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, man.
Tap in with Teo.